What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Controversially High. Today we're gonna be talking about drugs, man. Drugs and medicine. I don't know how people like to address them. Some people like to say drugs. Some people say medicine. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Now, society today, I feel like is addicted to drugs. I don't care what you say you are, who you say. You could tell me I'm not a drug addict. I don't like this. I don't like that. Blah 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 blah. But there's a whole lot of people out there addicted to all types of different type of drugs. Uh, pain medicines. Medicine that makes you I don't know, higher or lower. Guess I don't. I've never done anything besides like weed, and I tried ecstasy once, but that's all I've ever tried. Like, so what do y'all think about this? Is what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna be talking about these drugs and medicines that in this world. What do you think is causing this craze? Like, I hear now prescription drugs are like the most abused now. Like that is what's everybody's talking, popping sales and popping pills. Like that's, I don't know. It's a little strange. Is that, why are we doing that? What is it doing to society? Are we fucking ourselves up? Is this because I see kids looking at this stuff, people like Lil Pump and stuff. Like I hate referring to him and people like that, but like when you're under the age of 18 and you're like drinking codeine and doing a lot of like Xanax and doing a lot of all those weird drugs, I don't mind if if you're prescribed it because of your doctor really prescribed it to you for for real medical reasons. But is it okay to take Xanax on the low and just to get high or low, whatever it makes you feel? Because I really don't know what it makes you feel. I just see people and they just look really here but not here. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird saying. Like they're physically there but they're not there. But what do you guys think of like drugs? Is it okay? Or should we be okay with this? Because you hear arguments with people saying, we should keep the illegal drugs illegal and then the legal drugs legal. Like medicine, medicine, we should keep legal. But there's other things like weed and there's other worse narcotics out there. Like there's really bad drugs out there that I would not recommend. There's this Russian thing that I saw that I don't know, it like eats your flesh and stuff, and that's just no, hell no, never. That's some crazy shit. I would highly advise people stay away from that stuff, whatever that's called. I don't know the name of it really. But do you guys think it's okay for pharmacies to be prescribing people these things because of physical or emotional pain? Like, does taking drugs help with emotional pain is what I'm trying to, like, I guess I would say, because I assume Xanax is for like anxiety and all this stuff, and depression and all this other stuff that's been going on a lot. I'm wondering how is it compared to people like in the 70s and 80s and 60s? Were people this depressed when they were, young adults? Because I feel like a lot of young adults today, people being between the age of like 16 all the way to maybe like 28. I notice a lot of people are fucking depressed, man. A lot of people are stressed and depressed, and I don't know like how people did it back then, but I guess through cigarettes, I guess, because I know cigarettes was a big thing back then. I don't know if it's I see people smoking but cigarettes, but just not as much as I used to when I was a kid. So I'm always just wondering, like, is it okay for us to be taking drugs because of emotional distress? Like all these Xanax things. I wish we could prescribe something for somebody to help them like relieve stress, like maybe through tea or something. I'm always curious. Me, I smoke. That's just me because I fucking love to get high. It makes me feel better. High with marijuana. That's all I'm saying. It's just I just prefer it because it makes me feel extremely relaxed. I suffer from anxiety. I suffer from it for many reasons. When you get up and you're gonna face something that you don't want to face sometimes, it it hits you, man, and you try to like get that shit out of your head and try to like tough that shit out. But sometimes, you get anxiety, you get anxious, you get a little nervous, you start to, you know, make mistakes. So I don't know. I'm a little bit just curious. Is it okay for regular people to self medicate with like herbal stuff? Like, if say you want to smoke, or you want to drink some tea or something, or listen to music to help with emotional distress, or take a boxing class, or do something that you actually enjoy doing, like one of the hobbies, because I feel like we forget ourselves what we enjoy as hobbies. I notice that a lot of people don't really have hobbies that much anymore. It's like some people used to like mechanical stuff. Kids who grew up enjoying to do stuff, as they enjoy cars and they started working on them when they were teenagers, blah blah blah. When they get to adulthood, you go to school, if you go to college, or if you do something else, you become an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you do. Sometimes we forget our hobbies. Some people try to turn hobbies into jobs. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, but for the most part, some people forget their hobbies. I look back at that, where I talk to people, now that we're much older now, and you can go back, I don't know, 10 years, 9 years. We look back and we used to talk about our hobbies as, when we were young, what we thoroughly enjoyed doing, and how times have changed, that we don't do none of the hobbies we used to, or we try to, but we rarely get the chance to. It's crazy, and I notice that people don't have those things anymore, and they look into to take it with drugs and stuff. So I'm just curious, like, is it okay for us to be taking these regular prescribed medicines over natural, like herbal stuff, or taking a class, or doing something else, like having time to do something else? It's I'm always curious about who's okay with drugs and who's okay with not, because I hear people who are against things like marijuana for the for anxiety, depression, whatever you want to call it, or whatever pain you have, and they rather be prescribed something else. Sometimes they prescribe shit to athletes, and sometimes it has steroids, and then they pop for something. It's like, oh shit, but that was part of the medication given to me, or whatever. Or or people who complain about pains that they don't have, and they just use it to get fucked up. Like, how do you okay with that? How can you tell that? Like, you can't tell he's feeling the pain. How would you know what he's feeling? And you give it to them, and they're taking it for like abusive things like that. Is that okay? Because I don't know. I'm very nervous about this one. I don't know where to stand on this one. I can see the benefits, because it does help some people who really are in distress. But I'm curious. Is it okay? Is this the new norm? How did people do it back in the day? How did they not get stressed out like this? Like, people today, they get really stressed out. I've seen people end up in the hospital due to stress. It's insane. What is causing all this stress stuff? What is causing us to wanting to take these over-the-counter drugs to make us feel a certain way? Like, what's going on in society? And then I noticed that sometimes they, like, kids take that shit, and it's crazy. I'm just like, should they? Would you be okay with your kid popping Xanax because of some depression or something? I don't know. I would try to fix them a natural way, man. Before any, like, even marijuana, I would try to, like, therapy. I would try extracurricular activities. Like, I really wonder what's happening now, because now I hear about kids taking those things because of their social issues. And why do we have a lot of social issues now? Is it because of social media? Is social media the root cause of some of this shit? Like, people just, I don't know. I noticed that, like, people seem to be a little bit more, like, little people, I'm talking about, like, young adults. They just so fast with with texting and doing all this crazy shit on social media. And it's like, this is those people on a normal day, but when you see them in person, or you meet somebody like that, sometimes they are a little socially awkward and stuff. And I guess causes them anxiety or something, or they get nerve. You know, like you get all this crazy shit, and then you try to just get something to help you suppress it. But I don't know. It's just a crazy, crazy thing. You don't know what people got going on though. But what do y'all think about this? Is this okay? Is taking these over-the-counter drugs or whatever prescribed drugs, is it okay? Is it okay for kids to take them? How would you do it? Would you let your kids take them? Would you not let your kid? Me personally, I'm gonna be that. I would say no. I would be like, no, you're not gonna take Xanax. You're not gonna take none of that shit. Because even when I grew up, I didn't have to take none of that crap. I never took none of that stuff. That's I don't. If I could survive it, and people in the past did it, I believe that people in the future can do it too. But I don't know, this whole prescription thing about these over-the-counter drugs, all this stuff. I don't know. It's like they're trying to improve the worser of their medications rather than the more natural stuff. It's kind of, I don't know, it's like weird. They're very more natural ways, but we seem to be pushing all those over-the-counter medicines, and we say we don't push it, but we do. This is what we do as a nation. We fucking consume. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all tell me about what y'all think about drugs. Do y'all think it's okay? Are over-the-counter drugs okay? Or should you continue to take self-medicated drugs? Should you go the natural way? Should you smoke marijuana? Are you gonna go, or are you gonna take a class? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna go boxing? You gonna do extracurricular swimming? I don't know. Whatever it is that you do, enjoy doing bungee jumping, whatever it is that you do. Just curious. What do y'all think? Y'all let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear what y'all think about this. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one.